Hello, hello, hello. Can anyone hear me? Is there anybody out there? Okay, I think you can hear me. And we're live! Alright everybody, we're live. There's only a couple of you streaming right now, so I'll kind of hang tight until we get more people in, but this is the Q&A session, so if you have any questions about trade ideas, throw them in there right now, and we'll start tackling them soon. Check. Yep. I know you guys can hear me. I'm just wondering if my voice is coming in from my computer speakers or my real mic. Let's see here. Give me one sec. No, I want this. What do I want? All right, talking now, guys. I just changed my mic. Can you guys hear anything? Let me try something here. It sounds like you guys are hearing from my computer mic, not my real mic, which makes it sound awful. Don't we all agree? Okay, let's go back to here. That's where I was, but that's not where I know what the problem is. God. Bear with me. Stand by. Stand by. You know what the problem is, folks? I didn't even have my microphone plugged in. That's the problem. Does it sound better now? Does it sound better now? No, it doesn't sound better. Why is my microphone not showing up here? Sorry folks, I see that there's only about 5 of you streaming right now, or maybe 2 of you. So bear with me as I work through these audio things, because the audio sounds terrible. For some reason I'm not getting my my microphone to show up here. Steve or Mike, if you're hearing me, if you got any ideas of how I could get my Blue Yeti microphone to work. I don't know why it's not showing up here. It's not an option. I wonder if I had to launch this with the microphone already plugged in. All right, folks. Well, sorry for all this delay, but meanwhile, as you watch me clumsily stammer through getting my microphone working, if you have any questions about trade ideas, please throw them in here, and we will try to fix it. Or we try to answer your questions for you. Sorry. Trying to do 3 things at once. How's everybody doing out there, by the way? Crazy markets, huh? Things getting weird. Things definitely getting weird. There it is. There it is. Let's see, does that sound better, everybody? No, that doesn't sound better. No, that doesn't sound better. I give up. I give up. I'm not going to keep messing with this for now, guys. You can hear me. Not sure what mic it's coming from, but you can hear me. You can hear me. Not sure what mic it's coming from. Okay. Hear that cough? Hope that didn't freak anybody out. Well, let's take a little tour through the markets. SPY in the muck zone. No real bounce in sight yet. I mean, we bounced here intraday, but is that going to hold? Who knows? Who knows? QQQ, not looking any better. IWM looking the worst out of all of them, which IWM has looked the worst this whole time. Certainly not helping the cause. I've got one long swing trade on FTS, which, you know, right now not looking so hot. Closing in on my stop loss level. We'll see what happens there. Look at this, we got a couple stocks making new all-time highs, which is hilarious. Teladoc, no surprise. ZTO, what's that? ZTO Express, what do they do? Transportation and warehousing. Okay. China play, all right. All right. All right, let me check something out in my settings here while I wait for questions. I don't want to mute both those things. Check, check. All right, I made some changes. Hopefully that works for something. All right, I made some changes. That's just giving me my standard whatever, but we'll deal with it. We're good. Well, folks, this is going to be a pretty boring session if nobody's got any questions for me. I'm here till the top of the hour. Come hit me. Come hit me. Another new high just came through. EVBG Everbridge. Software company. Okay. I mean, I just have to assume that any stock making 52-week highs or all-time highs right now has to be some kind of coronavirus play. That's my only assumption. If not, then wow. Who knows what's going on there? Show of hands, anybody self-quarantined yet? I know Steve is, but for different reasons. I mean, I'm pretty much there by default. I haven't left my house at all this week except to take the dog for walks, and that seems fine. And gone to a grocery store once. That's about it. Keeping it casual around here. Of course, it doesn't help that everybody in my house has been sick for the past 3 weeks. I'm sure it's not related. Well, I hope it's not related, but I just feel bad for anybody who's sick with anything other than coronavirus right now, because man, just what a bad time to be sick. Everyone's freaking out. Chubby Puff. That is an open question, and there's a lot going on there. But for swing trades, I mean, I'm not going to tell you this is the best way to swing trade with trade ideas. I'm not going to tell you it's the only way. It's definitely not either. But I'll tell you what I do. And let me preface this by saying, when I swing trade, I prefer to swing trade from the long side. My reasoning for that is simply this. Making money on the short side, if you're nimble, can be great. I think being a day trader on the short side is fantastic. In fact, I've been trading since 1998, and the most money I ever made in my career was day trading stocks on the short side when the dot-com bubble blew up. But being a swing trader on the short side, that's a whole different ball game, a whole different skill set. Not saying you can't make money, of course you can, but man, you got to be nimble and you got to be vigilant about managing your risks, because bear market bounces are some of the most vicious rallies that you'll ever encounter. So if you're new to trading, just be aware, we're in a new market now, for better or for worse, depending on your point of view. And any bounces that we have from here, we're going to see I promise you, we're going to see an 8% up day in the S&P 500 at some point. We're going to see a 5% up day. We're going to see a 3% up day. We're going to see some big, big up days. Will that mean the trend is over? Who knows? That's the tricky part about bear markets. Now, if you're nimble, it's great. But anyway, so I got off track. From a swing trading perspective, I prefer the long side. I think long trades for swing trading, for me, for my mental bandwidth, I can manage better. Plus, I like the idea of the theoretically open-ended profit potential. With a short trade, yeah, stocks fall fast, but at the end of the day, they can only fall to zero, right? And the likelihood of that happening is pretty small. So best case scenario is on a short trade, you make 100% on your money, which is a fantastic result. But what's the likelihood of you making 100%? Very, very low. Whereas on a long swing trade, 100% winners can happen, and happen, a couple times a year if you're lucky. and hopefully that you make even more than 100%. So I like to trade from the long side. So what do I do for swing trading? Again, this is not the only way to use swing trading. This is not the only way to swing trade with trade ideas. But what I do is my daily process is every day. I built like my own custom layout here, which I'm opening up now. This is a custom layout that shows me in this window here, it shows me all of the stocks that Holly has traded today. And right now there's only 3, right? Slow day, not much going on from a Holly point of view. And so I will cycle through all the trades that Holly got into today. And typically I'll do this towards the end of the trading day. And I'll look through all the long trades. So in this case, there's 2 long trades. There's this TLSA and this BRKI. Well, right off the bat, I'll tell you I'm not going to trade either one of these because, as you can see, these are penny stocks. I don't trade them. But let's just, for argument's sake, let's say that these are stocks that, small to mid cap stock. And let's say that's the first hurdle. Then I'm looking at these charts. I got from left to right, I got a monthly chart, a weekly chart, a daily chart, and a 5-minute chart. Now, I don't really pay so much attention to the daily and 5-minute chart during this part of the process. For me, I'm just looking for stocks that are in long-term uptrends. As a swing trader who likes to buy stocks that are going up, I want to see evidence of some kind of tailwind at my back, right? So I want to see a monthly chart and or a weekly chart that is showing evidence of either an uptrend or breaking out, that kind of thing. Now, this stock here has an average daily volume. These are not going to be good examples. This stock has an average daily volume of 38,000 shares and a comically low market cap. So again, not the types of stocks I would trade from a swing trader's perspective. But each day I'll go through this process and I'll see all the trades that Holly did. Now, when we get back to a quote-unquote normal market, this window towards the end of the day will have lots of trades in here, maybe 20, 25 trades to choose from. So there'll be lots of different choices in here. And I'll just cycle through all those charts and try to find the charts that have positive momentum. And if it does, and it looks good, then I will have confidence to enter a swing trade in these stocks because I know that Holly has identified a catalyst to get her into the trade in the first place. That catalyst could be any of a number of things, right? It could be stock breaking out on high volume, stock crossing a key moving average. Who knows? There's hundreds of inputs that Holly uses to get her into a trade. And whatever that input is, that catalyst has the potential to move a stock for several days or several weeks if we're lucky, right? So I know in the back of my mind that any trade that Holly gets in, any long trade she gets in, there is a catalyst at play here. Now, is it a meaningful catalyst? Well, only time will tell, right? But in the meantime, all we have to work on is there's a catalyst at play and only price pays. So I'm going to start following price, and as long as the trade's working, I'm going to stick with it, right? I don't need to know the narrative of why the stock's breaking out. I just need to know there's a catalyst in play. The AI has identified it. That gives me a little bit of an edge, maybe even just a slight edge. But you know what, folks? Any edge that you have in the market, the more you can act upon that edge, the more instances and opportunities you have to act on any edge, whether it's a big edge or a small edge, the more you act on it, the more likely you are to achieve the results that that edge implies. So, I like to trade a lot. Well, let me say that differently. I want to put on a lot of small trades, manage my risks, and let everything play out. Now, I primarily, full disclosure, primarily these days I'm an options trader, but I am tracking Holly for swing trades. I do swing trade this in a demo account. I'm trying to demo the simulated trading for all of our users. And right now I've only got one active trade, FTS. If you would have been here 3 weeks ago, you would have seen this window had, 25 active swing trades in there, all long swing trades. Obviously, they've all been stopped out in this type of market. No surprise. Anyway, Chubby, I kind of got loose there on your question. I hope I somewhat answered it, but definitely use Holly as a starting point to scan for potential swing trades. I think there's edge there. She's identifying an edge. The edge might be a small edge or a big edge. Doesn't matter. Edge is edge, and the more you can execute against it, the better. Well, I mean, let me go back to my personal layout, the layout that I use throughout the day. One window that I always pay attention to, which is not giving me any signal these days, is this all-time highs alert window. Again, because I'm a long trader, I like to trade from the long side when I swing trade. I love trading stocks that are making all-time highs. That's just me. Blue skies ahead. The beauty of trading a stock that's making all-time highs is that there's no overhead supply to get in your way, right? There's no mass of bag holders that bought significantly higher several months ago and they're just waiting for an opportunity to unload their stock at a break even. That's not in play at a stock that's making all-time highs. So I love being able to buy stocks that are making all-time highs because look, a stock that is $100, for it to get to $1,000, well, it's got to go up $1 at a time, right? And the way it does that is by making a continuous series of all-time highs. So for my purposes here, Chubby, for my demo simulated account that I do here in Brokerage Plus, all of these swing trades are derived from AI. All right? Hope that makes sense. So I see there's a bunch more people who've logged in since we started, so welcome everybody. My name is Sean McLaughlin, Chicago Sean. I'm here with you until the top of the hour. This is a live Q&A session, so any questions you have about the Trade Ideas platform, I'm happy to address to the best of my ability. I got a couple of my coworkers are in the stream, in the chat stream, so if I can't answer it, they might be able to answer for you. So this is a great place to get your questions answered, so hit me up. Well, what scans do I recommend for day trading, Carrie? I don't recommend any. I think everybody should kind of build their own set of criteria that matters to you. But I know that a lot of people love, if I go into my channel bar here, if I scroll all the way down or near the bottom, we've got a channel called Channel 4. And this is essentially a repository of all of our most frequently requested top lists and alert windows that the team here, Steve, Andy, Jamie, myself, have created over the years that people seem to find value from. I know that we do. And I know one of the scans that is frequently, or one of the alerts that is frequently asked for from people looking to day trade is they love this Extreme Vol High-Low Pro right here. I think Andy developed this one. And this one is a good alert window to find stocks in play intraday if you are an intraday trader. So you could go, the whole point of this channel 4, what this is for is that we don't expect you to spend time here and use this channel. All it is a place to go grab scans and alerts you want to use and then import them into your own layouts. If I wanted to use this Extreme Vol High-Low Pro, what I need to do is I would first save it to my cloud. So the way I do that is I right click in this window and go to Save or Share to Cloud. All right. And there's the name of it, Extreme Vol High-Low Pro. Just go ahead and hit save. And now I've saved this alert window into my cloud. Now, the next step is I would go to one of my custom layouts. I'll just go to my layout here. I'll load my layout. And if I wanted to bring that alert window up into my layout somewhere, I'd make some room. Let's move my Brokerage Plus window open a little bit. And then, to open that window, I go to my TI menu bar here at the top, go to File, Load from Cloud, and the one I just saved will be right there at the top, Extreme Vol High-Low Pro. Now before I launch this, I just want to point out, you'll see if I scroll through here, you'll see all the alerts and top lists and scans and layouts, etc., etc., etc. that I've saved over the years. I mean, we're going back to 2017 here now. I'll never lose anything that I saved to my cloud. It's all here so I can access it at any time from anywhere. But in this case, Extreme Vol High-Low Pro is right there at the top. This is the one I most recently saved, so I'll highlight it, I hit load, and then here it is, opens up on my layout, and then I find a place for it, and then I'll just stretch out the window. There's all the data for it right there. And so now I've just imported that to my layout, and I can use that as I like. So let's see what came through here today. CY. I mean, look at this one. Boom. As a day trade. The blue arrow points to the candle in which you got the alert. So I'm not exactly sure what time. Let's see if I go to a 1 minute and see if this looks better on a 1 minute. Okay, look at that. So this alerted you during this candle. So if you bought anywhere during this candle, even if you paid the high price, which is like 23.10, you're making money on this trade right now. Not as much as the guy who bought early, but that looks like a pretty tasty intraday trade. Let's check out this other one, DBVT. This one doesn't look like it has a whole lot of volume, so I might have stayed away from this one myself. But yeah, there you go. So the Extreme Vol High-Low Pro, definitely one that people recommend, or definitely people like to use a lot. I know the guys here like it. But at the end of the day, you need to have, and what Trade Ideas allows you to do, is you need to kind of figure out what types of stocks you want to be in. Do you want to trade high-priced stocks? Do you want to trade low-priced stocks? Do you want to trade stocks with a certain market cap? Do you want to trade stocks with a certain amount of their shares outstanding that are sold short, held by short holders? Do you want to trade a certain stock that has earnings coming up? I mean, you got to figure out all these things, and this is trial and error. You're not going to figure it out the first day that you're trading or the first time you're at Trade Ideas. It's trial and error, but we give you the tools to add those filters so that you can build windows that drill into the stocks and situations that you want to pay most closely attention to, so you can maximize your time in front of the screens and execute on trades that, you know, really meet your criteria, as opposed to just willy-nilly shooting at every stock, shooting a buy order in any stock that's making a new intraday high, or shooting a short sale order in any stock making a new intraday low. You want to have some kind of guardrails in place. So Carrie, I don't know if that answered your question, but hopefully it did. Meanwhile, S&P's trading in no man's land. Looked like it was going to build a rally, and now it's down. I mean, I've said this over and over the past couple of weeks, but I mean, it's pretty amazing. Here's a 1 minute candle, 1 minute chart for SPY. So we're only going back, what, an hour and a half of data right here? You look at this Y-axis, 276 on the low end, 280 on the high end. Folks, just a few weeks ago, this would look like a weekly chart, right? You would see these types of moves play out over many, many, many weeks. These days, we're seeing them in 1 minute and 5 minute candles. It's pretty extraordinary. I've lived through some pretty crazy markets, and I'm not going to go ahead and say this is the craziest market I've ever traded in. That would be not true, but it's certainly up there. Top 10? I don't know about top 10. Certainly top 20. But it's up there. It's notable for now, and it continues to get more notable. Yeah, Carrie, Extreme Master Blaster, that's another popular scan that a lot of people like to use. I think you could find that on the Channel 4 as well. Let me see if that's in Channel 4. Okay, does not look like Extreme Master Blaster is in Channel 4. We should probably put that in there, guys. We get asked about that one all the time. Yes, Andy just chimed in. Needs to add that one. Let's do that, Andy. In the meantime, can you share that cloud link in the YouTube channel for Carrie? That would be great. Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm at the computer. I'm looking at my Twitter stream and just A lot of comedians out there when shit hits the fan. Apparently, the World Health Organization has finally declared the coronavirus is a pandemic. A lot of comedians taking wise cracks at that recently published statement. All right, Andy, thanks. Carrie, if you're listening, Andy just shared the cloud link for the Master Blaster in the chat window there. So if you want to use it, if anybody wants to use it, go ahead and use that link. And by the way, I'll walk. This is an exercise for everybody. So once you've copied that link, if you want to upload that cloud link onto your platform, the way you do it is after you've copied it from the chat window, then you come to your Trade Ideas window, your TI menu bar, and go to File and choose Load from Cloud. Okay? And then down here, this is where you paste in that link that you just saved from the chat window, paste it in right here, and then hit Load, and that's how that cloud link will load on your screen. And remember, if it's something that you loaded and you like it, and you've got it on your layout in just the right spot that you want it to be, make sure you save your layout and save your work. Otherwise, you'll have to do it all over again. So how do you save your layout? TI menu bar, go to File, Save Layout. Just go ahead and you can call it your default layout. You can call it anything you want. Give it a name. Mike's layout, whatever. Hit save and you're good to go. Got the name Mike in my head. I've been reading the Beastie Boys book. Any Beastie Boys fans out there? I bought the big ass 700-page Beastie Boys book several months ago, and I only just finally got around to reading it. Man, if you're a Beastie Boys fan, what a fantastic read. I can't put it down. By the way, just a little administrative note for everybody, because I just noticed this happen to me on my side, on my other computer. If you're watching this live stream on YouTube, well, of course you're watching it live. If the screen ever gets kind of blurry for you, you're not seeing the output, it looks kind of weird. There's nothing wrong with your computer, and there's nothing wrong with the stream. What you need to do is go into your YouTube window where you're seeing the video, and in the bottom right there's a little gear button. If you click it, it opens up your settings. And there's a quality menu item there where you could choose 1080p high definition. And then once you do that, you'll get your screen looking fancy, looking sharp. Hi Steve, no, with Brokerage Plus you cannot select an entry price on a stock, on a chart, and place a stop order to get into a long position. So what you're saying is, like, let's say you're looking at this DIA chart and you wanted to buy if it broke this level, 245. So you could put a price alert in here, right? Let's see, create price alert, 245, and hit save. And now you got a price alert up there. And I know what you're asking. You want this to trigger into an entry on Brokerage Plus. That is not currently something that you can do in Brokerage Plus. But it is a feature that is requested over and over and over again from our audience. So I promise you that is being built by our team. I don't know. I don't have an ETA on when that's happening, but it is. It has been documented. It's known. It's a must-have feature that our team's building. So stay tuned on that. Excuse me, folks, while I take a little note here, make a little note to myself. Okay, what's going on here? Does Trade Ideas offer any education on swing trading options? Carrie, no, we don't. For two reasons. Number one, we're not an options trading platform. Our platform is geared towards stock traders. I don't know which one is more important, reason number one or reason number two. Reason number two is we are also not an education platform per se. Like, we are not a trader education platform. We're not going to teach you how to trade. We assume that people who come to Trade Ideas at least have some working knowledge of how to trade. They come here now because they know they need the tools to make them a better trader. So we do all kinds of education around teaching you how to use the platform, which, through osmosis may help you to become a better trader. We certainly hope so, but no, we're not a trading education platform. Oh, sorry. Let me turn my ding off on my phone. I got friends. I got frantic friends, trader friends all over the country texting me all day long today. I've had some very interesting threads going on. Sorry, Steve. Sorry it's triggering you. I just put it on silent. All right, folks, bunch of you still here. Great. I'm going to be live on this until the top of the hour. But once I'm gone, Barry will resume the live trading room at 15 minutes after the hour. So there'll be a little 10-15 minute pause in between me and Barry. And then Barry will kind of take you close to the close. And for those of you who don't know Barry or don't know the trading room, it's a great place to watch an actual trader trading live in the market using Trade Ideas tools. You can it's like you're watching over the shoulder of a master. Barry's a good trader, very patient, and he happy to answer questions to the best of his ability. So hang out. Barry's live all day long, all trading hours, with the exception of this hour here, this window here where we do the live Q&A. But if you haven't already, please bookmark this YouTube channel, or this YouTube address. Bookmark it so you can easily reference it and come back anytime. I just got a text from a buddy. There are so many quote-unquote experts from this bull market who are now getting wiped the F out. How's that for a pessimistic take? Many of them have literally stopped tweeting. He must be talking about me. I was the it's a bull market, guy for a long time. But hey, only price pays, and I saw the writing on the wall. When it's no longer a bear market, or it's no longer a bull market, it doesn't make any sense to be cheerleading for a bull market anymore. It's pretty crazy. Let me pull up the SPY chart. So I attended, myself and Michael attended a conference in Orlando towards the end of February. Was it the end of February? I don't remember when we were there. But on the SPY chart, on the daily chart, we were somewhere in this area up in here. Maybe here? I think it was early Feb. God, days are just escaping me now. But somewhere in this stretch of the S&P 500. and we were at the Money Show in Orlando, and we happened upon a presentation by Oliver Velez. That might be a familiar name to some of you who've been around a while. Anyway, he gave a presentation that literally scared the shit out of me. I'm not kidding. And the guys that were there with me know what I'm talking about. He was not calling for a bear market to start. So let me make that clear. He was not calling for a crash or anything like that. But what he was saying is that we traders need to be highly vigilant, because when this thing unravels, which it will do at some point, he said it's going to be really bad, really fast. And I mean, wow. The presentation was literally like a week before the top. And that presentation literally scared the pants off of me. I'm not going to do it any justice to explain his presentation. If you go to moneyshow.com, you could find, pretty sure you could find it in the archives, Oliver Velez. Look for his presentation. Wow. Kudos to my man. Yeah, JC, our buddy All-Star Charts. He, in January, I mean, he certainly wasn't pounding the table for a market crash. Let's not say that, but he was definitely getting very defensive in U.S. stocks in January. He was getting very defensive in stocks and very bullish in bonds. And anybody who followed that advice into this mess is doing very, very, very well. Circus Steve, what's that? What ticker is that? The Squeeze Me trade. What happened? Give me a ticker. Let's look it up. Oh, TDOC. Yeah, well, it's making it. Whoa! It completely faded that new all-time high today. Look at this. Here's the 5-minute chart. Opened at approximately 152. It's quite a fade back. Apologize for all the noise in my background if you guys can hear that. I mentioned earlier in the call, I got a house full of sick people, and my son, 5 years old, kindergartner, is not in school, hasn't been in school all week. And he's making a lot of noise in the background. Yeah, Steve, I saw that headline a few minutes ago. A lot of Twitter comedians out there right now. Maybe that'll be the bottom. Well, this is not good news. It appears my brokerage platform has gone down on my other computer here. That's never a good sign when your brokerage crashes. Very curious. Well, nothing you can do. That's okay. My positions, I know what my positions are, I know what my risks are. Everything's good, no need to worry. Although I do have some options I need to close by the end of the day, so hopefully I'll be able to get back in and close those, which is fine. Their mobile app is still working, so that's good news. All right. All good in the hood. So folks, I'm here for another 15 minutes. You got questions for me? Throw them at me. Throw them at me. So here's a funny little anecdote. Not funny. It's not funny at all, actually. But I run a traders meetup here in Colorado. So for those of you who don't know, I'm broadcasting to you live from Colorado. And I run a twice monthly trader meetup. I've been running it for, I don't know, I think I'm in my 6th year now, 7th year, I forget, lose track. It's been a long time. Anyway, got a great group of people. We all get together twice a month for food and drinks and just chat about the markets. And one of the guys, well, I don't need to be hiding his name. His name is Jason Levitt. You can follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow. Jason Levitt, at Jason Levitt is his handle. During this whole run-up for the past year or so, probably going back a year and a half, he'd been telling me that the market's going to keep going up, and the market's going to keep going up until we got these FANG stocks, until we got 4 of them, you know, the big ones, until we get $4 trillion companies. I might be bastardizing his exact phrasing, but he said once we get $4 trillion companies, the market's not going to top out until that happens. And sure enough, I think it was Google that was the last one to become the $1 trillion company. I don't follow the news, so I forget which one was first, and which one was last, but I think Google was the last one. And so, what was it? Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Apple. And so those were the first 4 $1 trillion companies, $1 trillion market cap companies in the U.S. And he was telling me for the past year, he's like, we won't top out until that happens. Well, we got it, and the market topped out. And now he's telling me, he's kind of joking, but he might be serious. He's like, the market won't bottom until we no longer have any $1 trillion companies. I don't know where we stand on that at this point. So apparently some of these still must be $1 trillion companies, but he was half joking. I think he was half jokingly said, we will not bottom until there are 0 $1 trillion companies. So pay attention to that. Jason Levitt. I'll put his Twitter handle here in the chat. Great follow, good friend of mine. A Chicago guy like me. Great dude. Jason Levitt. Real smart. TLT has come back quite a bit over the last 3 days. Maybe a sign of some good news, I don't know. Well, folks, I just hope everybody's staying nimble out there. Lots of scary headlines, but know this, and I'm certainly not making light of this situation with this virus. But know this, at the bottom of the markets, the headlines are always the scariest. And right now, headlines are pretty damn scary, and I'm not calling for a bottom, certainly not. But just know that when shit's scary, that's usually the bottom. When shit's the scariest, I should say. I mean, I could tell you, I'm part of multiple conversations and multiple threads with people who are altering travel plans, canceling conferences, canceling meetings. I mean, 2 weeks ago, all this talk about the U.S. economy being affected, it was all theoretical talk. Well, now I'm seeing tangible results of it. Things getting canceled, things getting rescheduled. Business is being affected. Now, to what extent, I have no idea. And how long it'll last, I also have no idea on that either. But I'm seeing it. I'm part of a conversation right now. There's a conference I'm supposed to attend in New York in a few weeks, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to go now. And we're not alone. A lot of people are canceling their plans to go to that thing. These things will trickle out into the economy in some way. How much so? I don't know. Nobody knows, really. Anyone who thinks they know, they're lying to you. Or they're lying to themselves, probably more likely. So Amazon was one of those trillion-dollar companies. It's given back a bunch, not a lot. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, in percentage terms, Amazon has not given back a whole lot. Microsoft, probably a little bit more in percentage terms. Apple's hanging pretty tight. That's pretty. This is pretty impressive. Did not expect to see that. What was the other one? Google not looking so hot, but again, percentage terms, not that bad. Well, folks, here's the other thing, going back to the riff I was going on earlier about bear markets being incredibly hard to trade from the short side. And they're very sexy to trade as a short-term trader, because we all know, anyone who's been in this business a long time, that you can make a lot of money on the short side in a very short period of time. But it's not easy. It's hard, because bounces will come and they will be vicious. And when markets are doing what they're doing now, and with the headlines they are as they are right now, I mean, at any moment, some news headline can come out, you know, maybe the Fed takes drastic action, or the White House takes drastic action, or something. Who knows what it could be? But it could be something that will just cause the market to scream higher, maybe even for no reason. But you gotta be nimble if you're trading on the short side here. I'm not trying to talk you out of trading on the short side. You definitely should. When the trend is down, you want to be trading with the trend. But make sure you know where your risks are, and make sure you've got a plan to exit those trades if they don't work out. Because at any minute, at any moment, it could happen today. It could happen overnight. But we're just one headline away from a 10% face ripper to the upside. That doesn't mean the crisis is over. It doesn't mean the market is bottomed. but there's no reason why you can't expect to see a 10% face ripper to the upside at any time, at any moment, for any reason. So you got to stay nimble, folks. All right, so we got 5 minutes to go here. So 5 minutes to left to answer me questions. Steve's here in the chat panel. He's here to answer questions as well. So we're here for another 5 minutes. Otherwise, hang tight. Barry will be resuming the live trading room at 15 minutes after the hour, and you could ride with him to the close. So just to kind of, you know, put my mind at ease, I'm restarting my other computer just to see if maybe there's something wrong with my computer, and that's why my brokerage platform crashed, because their mobile app is working just fine. So I'm restarting my computer. Restart. Let's do this. All right, folks. Well, I don't see who was the other guy you mentioned, Bobby. Other guy you mentioned regarding what, Bobby? About my other guy here on the call with me. Steve is in the chat window. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, you're probably talking about Oliver Velez. That's the guy I was talking about earlier. The guy that had the presentation at the Orlando Money Show that scared the shit out of me. Yeah, Oliver Velez. I'll type his name in here for you. Oliver Velez. So go ahead and Google his, well, just go to moneyshow.com. I think that's the website you go to. You're going to have to like sign up for a, you know, free account or something. There's a couple of hoops they might make you go through to see the content, but it's worth watching. I mean, I'm not saying he called the top, but he called what you need to do when certain, he basically said, this is what you need to watch for. And when that happens, you need to get bearish and you need to stay bearish. And well, the thing he was calling for has happened. And it's very good. It's a very good thing to see. All right, folks. Yep. We're going to close it down here, folks. Top of the hour. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Barry will be back in 15 minutes to take you guys all the way to the close. Take care, everyone.